Hi, I'm Frank Sesno of PlanetForward.org. 'Tis the season for the electric vehicle, or the pre-season anyway. President Barack Obama took a much ballyhooed drive in a Chevy Volt, and the Nissan Leaf is about to hit dealerships in December of 2010, but bragging by the middle of the summer that they have more than 16,000 people already who have reserved a Nissan Leaf. Is all the hype worth it? Will these cars really make a difference? Well, Daniel Gray is creator of a place called MPG-o-matic.com, which is a site that's devoted to fun-to-drive, fuel-efficient vehicles, he says. He's also a member of Planet Forward, and he went to the DC Auto Show and climbed through the Nissan Leaf.
Mark, tell me about the Nissan Leaf.
What you're looking at is our production-ready, pure zero-emission vehicle. I mean, this car doesn't even have a tailpipe. We've added a layer of information on things like distance to empty, state of charge of your battery, how much power are you using out of your battery, or actually through regeneration braking, actually putting back into your battery. One of the things you can set your vehicle up for is actually when you come in at home. This one is an example is 11 o'clock at night. The car will go to sleep until 11 o'clock, wake up, and then begin to charge, so you can take advantage of time of use rates. The most popular question we always get is range, and we've said very clearly 100 miles against the LA4 test cycle. Why did we pick the LA4? The EPA and California a couple of years ago said, we had to decide for consumers to be able to define what a fully functional electric vehicle would be. And they decided an EPA certified test. They called it the LA test cycle, and they said, to be considered a fully functional EV, you had to do 100 miles against this test. So our engineers said, okay, that's the independent third party. We're going to make sure our car does at least 100 miles against that, and that's how we set up the car to perform.
You can see the rest of Dan Gray's video by going to PlanetForward.org, and you can see more about the Nissan Leaf there as well. But we did a little calculation. Is all of this worth it? Well, here are some of the numbers we came up with. With the tax credit, the Nissan Leaf would cost you a little bit over $25,000. Compare that to the Ford Focus, that MPG-loving car that Ford is pushing so much. That would cost you about $16,000. Take the savings, if you bought the Ford Focus, and buy gasoline with it at about $3 a gallon. We just put it there to be conservative. And we figured that you could drive nearly 100,000 miles in the Ford on the savings between the two vehicles. So do electric cars make sense? Will the prices come down? Will people invest in this technology? Is this really the vehicle of the future? We'd love to hear your thoughts on this and whether you'd be willing to buy one of these cars yourself and why at PlanetForward.org.